Alright guys, welcome to another video. So we're going to be going over the South African under-19 rugby squad for 2019. Now it's the first time since 2007 we've had an SA under-19 squad that's been named. Now the squad's going to travel to Georgia to play a few matches in December, and Chean Roux, the coach for this year. And it looks like the selections are with a view to the Under-20 World Cup in 2020. So we're going to be looking at the squad, some of the players I feel are missing, as well as the current Under-18s who should be in the mix come the 2020 tournament. So the forwards, we have Dewald Donald from Affies, Banele Matajane from Nelspruit, Betletsche from Glenwood, Jacobs from Porus, and Dube from Maritzburg as the props. Then Mornay Brandon and JJ Kotz and Jason Alexander, all the hookers. I really am a fan of those hookers. Then a nice inclusion is Vanachos from Grey College, who's one of the stars last year. Unfortunately didn't make SA schools. Then Vanakutsia from Glenwood, Lunga Ngulbe from Glenwood as well. Adrian Alberts, remember one of my young guns from Paul Boys. Emil van Heerden looks like a great player for the future as lock as well. And then finish over the loose forwards, Thabo Ndimane from Huntsmoor, somewhat of an unknown quantity. Sibo Sangweni from Kersney, very talented player. Silimpilo Gumede from DHS, and finally the superstar Evan Roos. So in terms of the SA schools and SA Under-20 mix, 71% of these guys played for SA schools, and actually 41% were included in the South African Under-20 squad. So it definitely looks like a strong group. Then moving on to the backs. Scrum off, we have Bernard van der Linde, who went to Menlo, Jaden Hendrickse, the star from Glenwood, and then Thomas Bursey, Selborne, very talented player. Fly half, we have an unknown quantity in Ethan Wenzel from Centurion, and obviously Porus's Jean Mustard, who was a fantastic fly half in 2018. Centres, we have Killerman, Jonker, Apollos, Manyike, and Zwellendabe, very, very good players over there. And then a back three of Stravino Jacobs, who's definitely a superstar in the making, Keenan Twig, and then rounded off by Cohen Jasper from Drosti. So in terms of the SA schools, you've got 62% that have made the transition, and a measly 15% out of the backline players of SA Under-20 experience from before. So the forward pack looks good. There's a nice experience there, and they're going to be very tough for opposition teams to deal with. There's a nice SA schools to Under-20 transition. There's good to see some continuity in selections. For me, it's very amazing to see Killerman get in the squad. He's such a talent, a very, very great player. There's also some glaring omissions, obviously, as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the omissions plus the Under-19 players that will be next year's age group for the Under-20 selection, who could sort of be pretenders to the throne, so to speak. So in terms of the SA Under-19 props, I think a big omission is Herman Achenbach. He was a great college prop, absolute hulking man. In terms of Under-18 talents that should be in the mix, I think Jan-Hendrik Wessels and Blaine Golden can really push for a position over there. In terms of the hookers, I think, I think they're great hookers. I think there's Cullen van der Mavers there and thereabouts, but who does he replace from those three, really? Under-18 talents, Goosen and Andre Hugo Venter don't stand back for anyone. So that's going to be very difficult to sort of select three hookers out of those players. Then we're moving on to the locks. I think as they stand, I'm very happy with the lock combinations. I don't think there's any Under-19 players I can sort of say, that could sort of replace any of those guys. But in terms of Under-18 talents, I think Dylan Deleu should be in the mix, and also obviously Simon Muller. Loose forwards, I think a big omission is David Murray. To me, he was probably the best flank in the country in 2018. I can't believe that he wouldn't be in the mix. Tristan de Lucia is obviously another strong player. Adam Mountford is one for the future. Don't forget this name, guys. I don't think he will make the SA Under-20 squad next year, but he's definitely a player for the future. He's got a lot of talent. Then we got some Under-18 talents coming through in the loose forward department, don't we? I mean, you got Jared Taylor, Crenier, Keke Morabe, who should definitely be in the mix. Gideon van Wyk, strong player. And then obviously also 8th man Jared Kern. So there's a lot of competition potentially there. Then in terms of the halfbacks, only real mission I'm seeing is Lionel April. I thought he did very well last year from a smaller school, but still stepped up quite nicely. But in terms of the Under-18 talents that are going to be pushing through, you're probably looking at Yuri Claessens, Bobby Alexander, and Kian Meaden. Outside backs, the biggest omission for me was Richard Creel. That guy was a regular in the Blue Bulls championship winning under-21 team as an under-19 player. What the hell is he not doing in the South African under-19 squad? Somebody's definitely smoking some good shit. I need some of that. How can you not have Richard Creel there? It's not even close in terms of fullbacks in the country in his age group. He's by far the best fullback in the country in his age group. It's not even close. And then you got Flatour and Darren Hendricks as well. I mean, what are they not? Why aren't they there? Surely they're better than Twig and Jasper. I confess I haven't heard of Twig or Jasper before. Flatour and Hendricks, brilliant players, and Richard Creel. It's a complete joke. Then in terms of under-18 talents that could push through, you got Tarquin Manuel, the fullback, Flusk, the wing, and then Box and Horn, the centre combination. So I think they could really push for a position. But in terms of the 2020 World Cup, if we go with the squad, I would say you're probably looking at, I'd give them a 6.5 out of 10 as a squad. I think there's certain key positions that need a bit more quality. And I think the max we can hope for is an 8 out of 10 squad. And I'm basing that on the selections. I think that extra 1.5 can come from under-19 selections from next year's squad. My sort of hope for this is that the 2020 squad has a good mix between under-20 and under-19 talent, because you need that continuity going forward. So this is my hopeful starting 15 for 2020. My back three would be Richard Creel, Stravino Jacobs, and Darren Hendricks. Pace and vision, everything that you want. I'd have Kellerman and Flatour as my centres. I think that should have been the SA school centre combination last year. Hendricks and Mostert would be my halfback combination. Mostert is a hell of a talented fly-half. He's not a great goal kicker, but Hendricks can more than pick up the pieces for that. And also Darren Hendricks is not a bad goal kicker. Neither is Richard Creel a really bad goal kicker. So there's options. My loose forward trio would be Beast, Evan Roos, David Murray, and Jared Taylor. There will not be a team at next year's tournament that could actually handle that power, that sheer power those three that will possess. And then that tight five, Alberts, Van Heerden, Jacobs, Kotze, and Achenbach. You're looking at a forward pack over there that weighs more than most international forward packs. Pace and power, unstoppable. Then my reserves, I'd have Jacques Huisson as my reserve hooker. My reserve props would be Mtajane and Vessels. Reserve locks Ngube and Liu. My loose forward would be Sibu Sangweni. Then I'd have Ulrich Claessens as a backup scrum off, and finally Reinhard Jonker as a backup utility back. I think that team would win the final of the tournament by 30 to 40 points, and I'm not exaggerating. I don't care what the French bring. You can look. Everyone talks about Jordan Joseph. I think he might have one more year left in him. Next year's tournament, Evan Roos, David Murray, and Jared Taylor would tear that guy apart. He would have no chance against that loose trio. Evan Roos would give him a proper run for his money. So what you got here is you got an exciting backline with a lot of pace. A lot of creativity, and you've got a forward pack that can mix it up with the best of them. That front row would be unstoppable, would be completely unstoppable. But we're never going to get this team for the Under-20 World Cup next year. Politics is going to play its part. We're just simply not going to be able to start with this team. It's the South African Human Rights Commission would probably end up trying to sue the coach. Just the reality of living in modern day South Africa. And it's not about the best man anymore. It's about demographics, and I think every single South African, regardless of his skin color, can agree, let's just put the best team on the park and let them do us proud as a nation. But politicians don't give a shit about that. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to click like and subscribe and leave your comment below. What do you think of the squad? Who would you like to see in? And as always, have a great week further. Cheers, bye.